Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is FPL Roxas, and today I'll be sharing my Gameweek 13 team selection. In this video, I'll be looking a little bit into some players in my team that have gotten injured during the break, their possible replacements, and then I'll be sharing my plans on how I will navigate through Gameweek 13 onwards. As usual, feel free to like and subscribe if you found my video enjoyable. Alright, let's start the team selection video. So recap of last week. I had made early transfers to bring in Lascelles and Mbumo to bring out both Neto and Byrne who were injured for long term. Then it was confirmed a little bit after I uploaded the video that Madison was going to be out as well until January. I then had to make a last minute transfer which was a -4 to bring in Martinelli for Madison. Well, all of my transferred players totaled just 4 points, and with the -4 that is a net 0 points gained from the transfers. But still, it's not that bad since I finished the game week with 70 points right after the -4. I still got a green arrow from 2.2 to 2.1 million, which I'd say is pretty good even when I had to make 3 transfers. Most of the points from this week came from Salah and Haaland, where I captained Salah. I'm pretty sure everyone who has both of them have gotten a green arrow just by captaining through their hauls alone. Watkins and Bowen were the only other players that returned from my team. Bowen's injury is a big blow for me as he's been a consistent returner for my team. I haven't seen any additional information regarding the extent of his injury, so I'm going to have to monitor West Ham's press conference in order to know what I'll be doing with Bowen. So there are a few important players who have come back with an injury after the international break, especially Haaland and Bowen, who I currently own. There are rumors saying that Haaland should be fine, however, Bowen is my main injury concern. In this week's transfer targets, I've chosen a few players that I consider to be the best replacements for Bowen. If we look at the prices for a second, all of the players that I have shortlisted are priced under 6.5 million. The reason is that one of my newer objectives is to try to use my future transfers to upgrade my bench when possible, so that I can have starting caliber players who are ready to rotate with my starting 11, just in case something happens like an injury. So the first player I have considered is Cole Palmer. He has 4 goals and 3 assists so far, all of that in just 6 starts. However, his data looks quite deceiving as he has scored all his goals through penalties, and the expected goal of 0.71 per 90 includes all those penalty goals as well. But regardless, he is still a great pick as he is very involved in Chelsea's goals, and I would say that he's the best Chelsea asset at the moment. Priced at just 5.2 million, he is a bargain for a player who plays and starts for Chelsea and is on penalties. Bringing him in would free up so much money in the bank that it becomes possible to move to different players without ever getting the fear of being priced out. The next player is Eze. He was in my team throughout the start of the season, a period where he didn't return at all until I took him out. He just got back from injury and has returned in both the fixtures since. His next 3 fixtures look really good, especially Luton away this game week. He played well in the Everton game, so if he could continue that form, he could easily return in the Luton game. The last player on the list is Kudus. He also has a nice run of fixtures all the way until Gaming 17 where he plays the likes of Burnley, Palace, and Fulham. If Bowen is out for a while, and knowing that Antonio is out as well, Kudus could be playing up top in their place as a striker. I've known how good he was since his time in Ajax when he played under Ten Hag. I think he has the potential to replicate Bowen's goal tally if he gets the chances, of course. And Burnley this week could be the perfect time for Kudus to show us what he can do. An honorable mention that I couldn't fit in was James Ward-Prowse, who had 11 points in Gaming 12 through a double assist. He totals 2 goals and 5 assists so far this season and is also on all set pieces for West Ham. He could be a good pickup as well for this game week against Burnley. So moving on to the team selection for this week. The team does look quite awful, as most of the players that I have are facing each other, like Salah versus Haaland, Gabriel and Martinelli versus Mbumo, Cash and Watkins versus Ariola as well. So pretty much 90% of the team is clashing. So I think it is gonna be quite a hectic game week 13 for my team. Anyways, this is how my team will line up for this week. Starting in goal is Ariola, who has Burnley away. They haven't had a clean sheet for quite a while, but Burnley isn't that tough on an opponent, so I could see them getting away with a clean sheet. In defense, I have Gabriel, Lascelles, and Cash. Gabriel has Brentford away, which will probably be a high scoring game, as Brentford is one of those teams who are quite attacking. and they have the ability to fight toe to toe against the big teams, so I don't think I'll be getting much from Gabriel. Lascelles has Chelsea at home. Newcastle got beaten by Bournemouth 2-0 last week. That's a result that a lot of people did not see happening. I guess the injuries on their key players really affected the way they play. I'll just hope that they can hold out against Chelsea this week. Cash has Tottenham away, with not Tottenham having the likes of Van de Ven and Romero out. I think Villa has a good chance to win this game, and hopefully Cash can finally make an attacking return. That's something I haven't seen since I brought him in. Realistically, none of my defenders look like they'll be able to get any returns this week, so I'll be keeping my expectations quite low for them. On the other hand, I could see my midfielders scoring even when some of them have tougher fixtures or are facing each other. For my midfield, I've got Salah, Son, Martinelli, Mbumo, and Bowen. Salah's got probably the most difficult game that he will face this season in City away. However, he does have a good record against them, with a goal in each of the last four matches against City. So he's one of my captaincy options for this week. Son has Villa at home. Spurs have had two defeats in a row, where Son has blanked in both. Coincidentally, Madison was injured in both defeats. I guess losing their main creative outlet really affected their performances. I don't think Son will be getting as many chances as usual, and I think it will take some individual brilliance if we want to see him palm. Spurs haven't gotten a penalty this season as well, so I can't really rely on that to get points. He's still a great player, so he could still be a captaincy option for me, even with the team's bad form and tough fixture against Villa. Martinelli has Brentford away. I brought him in as a differential last week for the injured Madison. He didn't play well, and he blanked, but no worries. The coming fixtures look easier to attack, so there's enough time to see him return. Mbumo is up against Arsenal this week. He had quite a few chances to score against Liverpool, but he blanked again against them in the end. I brought him in for his good fixture run from Gameweek 14 onwards. I'm sure it is possible for him to get some sort of return out of the Arsenal game this week, for sure. One thing I'm hoping for is that between the combined three Arsenal and Brentford assets that I own, Gabriel, Martinelli, and Mbumo, I'd be very happy with a return from at least two of the three of them. Anything below that will definitely get me a red arrow. So, like maybe Arsenal completely destroys Brentford and I get a clean sheet and like an assist or a goal from Martinelli. I think that's what's gonna get me a green arrow for this week. Bowen's got Burnley away, an easy fixture where he could definitely return and continue his away scoring streak, but the problem is that he got injured during the international break. I don't think West Ham can afford to drop him, as they don't have any other strikers now that Antonio is out as well. The only player that could fill him in was Bowen. He's their most informed player, so I'm hoping that he's able to play for this fixture. If I get news that he is fit enough to play, then he is another player that I could give the captaincy to as well. If he is confirmed to be out, I'll be replacing him with one of the transfer targets I have mentioned in the previous section. Moving on to my forwards, I've got Holland and Watkins. Holland's got Liverpool at home. He recently got injured during the international break, so he could be a doubt for the Liverpool game. Recent reports mention that he should be fine, so I hope that's true. He only has one goal against them from their previous meetings, but if he's fit, he'll still be a captaincy option for me. Watkins have got Tottenham at home. He could definitely return, with Tottenham's main defensive line being out. Tottenham's defense could be more vulnerable than usual, so Watkins is also another captaincy option for me. And one thing to note from the bench, this might just be me wishing for something impossible, but Mubama could actually get some game time if Bowen's confirmed to be out. If Mubama starts, I could just bank my transfer for this week and bench Bowen for him instead. Of course, that's a big if. He hasn't played a single minute this season, so I don't think it's likely to happen, but I can dream. Anyways, let's move over to captaincy. There are quite a few players that I've mentioned that I'll be considering for captaincy for this week. There is Salah, and then there's Son, there's Bowen if he's fit, there's Holland if he's fit. Yeah, there's quite a few players. But I think out of all of them, Salah is my favorite, as he has a great scoring record against City, as I mentioned before. He scored in their last four meetings, so for now, my captaincy is with him. I don't see the team changing for this week, as I'm looking to back the transfer and have 2 free transfers for next week. But if Bowen is out, which I think is going to happen, I will have to make a transfer. And maybe if Holland is out for this week, just 1 week alone, I think I'm just gonna bench him and then like play Taylor instead. Yeah, to sum it all up, the current plan is to back the transfer only if Bowen is fit. But if he's out, then I will have to use my transfer and bring in one of Palmer, Eze, Kudus, or Ward-Prowse. In the future, when I'm content with my starting 11, I'd like to upgrade a few of my bench players so that I won't be need to make so many emergency transfers when one of my players in the starting 11 gets injured. I could just rotate instead. It will also allow me to rotate the team through like the more difficult fixtures as well. And that wraps up this week's team selection video. Good luck to everyone for Gameweek 13. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you want to be updated on my latest uploads. I'll be uploading every week, so stay tuned. Leave a comment if you'd like, and thanks for watching the video.